Have you ever wondered why a simple plate of last night's dinner could quietly be making you sick? It's not the salt, it's not the sugar. It might be how you're reheating your food. Every single day, millions of seniors across America pop leftovers into the microwave, thinking it's safe, convenient, and harmless. But what if I told you some of the most common foods in your fridge could become toxic once reheated, not just upsetting your stomach, but quietly damaging your gut, your heart, even your brain? If you've been feeling unusually bloated, foggy, or tired after meals, this video may be your wake-up call. Today, we'll reveal 6 everyday foods that can turn dangerous when reheated, and explain why seniors in particular need to be extra careful. More importantly, I'll show you how to handle leftovers the right way to stay safe, energized, and independent. Before we begin, I'd love to hear from you. Where are you watching from today? And what time is it for you right now? Drop a quick comment below, even if it's just a small moment from your day. I truly appreciate hearing from you. And if this topic is helpful, don't forget to hit subscribe so you never miss another tip that could protect your health. 5 foods that should not be reheated. 1. Potatoes. The hidden toxin trap. There's something warm and familiar about leftover potatoes. Maybe it's the mashed potatoes from your grandson's birthday dinner in Texas, or the baked potato you brought home after Sunday church potluck in small-town Pennsylvania. You pop it in the microwave the next day, thinking it's a simple, harmless act. But for seniors like you and me, this little habit might come with an invisible risk we were never warned about. Cooked potatoes, when left out at room temperature for more than 2 hours, can become a breeding ground for a rare but deadly bacterium, Clostridium botulinum. This bacterium produces a toxin called botulin, the very same toxin that causes botulism, a condition that can lead to paralysis, difficulty breathing, and in some cases, death. And here's the twist. Wrapping those potatoes in aluminum foil, like many of us do after dinner, creates a low-oxygen environment. Exactly what this bacteria needs to grow silently overnight, especially on your counter in warm places like Arizona or Southern California. The most dangerous part? Reheating doesn't make the toxin go away. In fact, it may even activate dormant spores, making things worse instead of safer. And for older adults whose immune systems and gut linings aren't what they used to be, the risk is far more serious. The CDC has reported that seniors are significantly more vulnerable to foodborne illnesses and more likely to suffer long-term complications. But you don't have to give up potatoes. Fresh potatoes, when cooked and eaten right away, are a wonderful source of potassium, vitamin C, and fiber. They support heart health, reduce blood pressure, and provide lasting energy through the day. If you do have leftovers, here's what doctors and food safety experts recommend. Cool them within 1 hour, store in a shallow, sealed container, and never keep them wrapped in foil. Eat them within 3 days, and if you're reheating, make sure they're cooked through at high heat, like pan-fried or baked fresh again. You've worked hard to enjoy your retirement, your family, and your meals, so let's keep them safe, one simple habit at a time, because food should fuel your strength, not threaten it. And here in America, knowledge like this is one more way we stay independent, one smart choice at a time. 2. Mushrooms. Protein breakdown that hurts the heart. Maybe it's that leftover mushroom stir-fry from your favorite Chinese takeout in Portland, or the mushroom and spinach omelet you made yesterday morning in your cozy kitchen in Virginia. It looks perfectly fine sitting there in the fridge, and microwaving it seems like the smart, no-waste thing to do. But for those of us over 60, especially anyone with a heart condition or on medication, that reheated mushroom could come with a hidden cost. You see, mushrooms aren't like most vegetables. They contain complex proteins and enzymes that begin to break down rapidly once cooked. If reheated, these broken-down compounds can create substances that strain your digestive system, and in some cases, interfere with your cardiovascular health. A study out of the University of Milan found that reheated mushrooms were linked to a noticeable increase in irregular heartbeat among older adults. The research showed a 40% rise in heart-related symptoms after eating mushrooms that were stored and reheated improperly. This matters more than ever for seniors in America, where nearly 70% of adults over 65 are on some form of heart medication. When those fragile compounds in mushrooms interact with certain drugs, like beta blockers or blood pressure pills, the effects can be unpredictable. Symptoms like palpitations, lightheadedness, or even blood pressure spikes can follow. And sadly, many dismiss these as just part of getting older, when food may actually be the culprit. But knowledge is power, and once you understand what's happening, it's easier to take back control. To stay safe, always refrigerate cooked mushrooms within 30 minutes of cooking, especially if it's warm outside, or you've been hosting family in Arizona or Florida. Eat leftovers cold within 24 hours and never reheat them more than once. If you're unsure how long they've been sitting in the fridge, it's better to toss them than risk your health. And if you do crave mushrooms again, saute them fresh in a bit of olive oil, toss in garlic, and enjoy them right away. Warm, fragrant, and heart-friendly. Mushrooms offer real health benefits: vitamin D, selenium, and even natural antioxidants that support immune function. But like many things in life, timing and preparation matter. Because your health isn't just about what you eat. It's how you treat the foods you love that makes the difference. And every safe, mindful meal you enjoy today is one more step toward independence, wellness, and strength in the years ahead, right here in America. Chicken. Bacterial playground. Maybe it's that rotisserie chicken from the grocery store down the road in Ohio, still juicy and flavorful even on the second day. Or maybe it's the baked chicken thighs you made for your grandkids over the weekend in your Florida condo, now waiting in the fridge. It feels smart, even responsible, to reheat and reuse what's left. It saves time, money, and waste. But for seniors across America, especially those with weaker immune systems, that seemingly harmless habit might carry an invisible risk. When cooked chicken is left at room temperature for more than 2 hours, harmful bacteria like Salmonella and Campylobacter begin multiplying rapidly. In fact, USDA research shows that bacterial levels can exceed safe limits by more than 1,000% in just that short time. And here's the part that surprises many people. Reheating chicken doesn't destroy the toxins these bacteria may have already released. Microwaving until it's hot to the touch won't fix the problem if the toxins have already been formed. For seniors, these toxins can lead to serious consequences, ranging from severe dehydration to blood infections requiring hospitalization. The body's defenses simply aren't as strong after 65, and symptoms like fatigue or nausea are often overlooked or mistaken for medication side effects. But the truth is, improperly stored or reheated chicken has been linked to nearly 1/3 of senior food poisoning hospitalizations in the US, according to Johns Hopkins research. And for someone living alone in a quiet neighborhood in Arizona or Vermont, That risk can feel even more frightening when help isn't always right nearby. That's why knowing how to store and reheat chicken safely isn't just helpful, it's essential. Always refrigerate cooked chicken within 1 hour in shallow containers, not as one big piece. Use it within 2 days, and if you plan to reheat, slice it first, and ensure every part reaches at least 165 degrees Fahrenheit. Better yet, enjoy it cold in a fresh salad or sandwich, where you can avoid the risk entirely while still enjoying the flavor. Chicken offers real nutritional value, lean protein, B vitamins, and selenium that supports immune and thyroid health. But like so much in life, the way we handle it matters just as much as what's on the plate. Because protecting your health isn't about fear. It's about making wise, simple choices every day, right here in America. 4. Rice. The invisible poison in your rice bowl. Maybe it's the leftover rice from Tuesday's Chinese takeout in Seattle, or the fluffy white rice you made for Sunday dinner with family in Georgia. You scoop it into a bowl, add a little water, pop it in the microwave, and within minutes, it's warm and ready again. It feels like the simplest thing in the world, especially when you're trying to eat what's in the fridge and avoid wasting food. But beneath that familiar comfort lies a quiet danger, one that affects seniors in America more than most people realize. Rice, especially when left out too long after cooking, can harbor a tough bacterium called Bacillus cereus. This bacteria survives the cooking process and starts to multiply when rice is kept at room temperature for more than an hour. The real concern isn't the bacteria itself, but the toxin it produces, which cannot be destroyed by reheating in the microwave. That's why some seniors feel nauseous, dizzy, or even suffer vomiting and diarrhea after eating what seemed like perfectly safe rice. For older adults living alone in places like Iowa or New Mexico, these symptoms can become serious quickly, especially if they lead to dehydration or falls. What makes this especially tricky is how easy it is to overlook. You might assume your upset stomach came from aging or blame it on something else you ate that day. But if rice wasn't cooled properly, or if it sat in a deep container longer than it should, those bacteria had plenty of time to grow. According to food safety guidelines in the US, rice should be cooled within 1 hour of cooking, preferably spread out thin for faster chilling. Stored portions should never be more than 2 inches thick, and they should always be kept in shallow, airtight containers. And here's something helpful. If you love rice, you don't have to give it up. Freshly cooked rice is full of benefits. It's easy to digest, provides steady energy, and supports gut health with its resistant starch. If you do want to keep leftovers, use them within 24 hours and consider stir-frying with high heat instead of microwaving. Or better yet, enjoy it cold in a fresh rice salad with avocado and vegetables, a meal that's both safe and satisfying. Because here in America, where aging with dignity and independence matters so deeply, your health begins with simple daily habits. And something as small as cooling rice properly might be one of the most powerful steps you take to protect yourself. 5. Green leafy vegetables. When healthy turns harmful. It's easy to feel proud when your plate has something green on it, whether it's spinach sautéed in olive oil or a handful of collard greens on the side. It's the picture of healthy eating in America. In towns from Nashville to Portland, seniors are doing their best to follow doctors' advice and add more leafy greens to their meals. But here's the surprising twist. Reheating those greens might actually be putting your health at risk, and most people never see it coming. Leafy greens like spinach, kale, and Swiss chard naturally contain a compound called nitrate, which is perfectly harmless when fresh and lightly cooked. But once the greens cool down and sit in the fridge, especially overnight, bacteria begin converting that nitrate into nitrite and then into nitrosamines. And here's where it matters. Nitrosamines are classified by the World Health Organization as probable carcinogens, linked to cancer and reduced oxygen delivery in the blood. If you've ever felt unusually tired, dizzy, or short of breath after reheating your greens, it might not be aging. It might be the chemistry in your food. And for seniors who already have lower oxygen levels or heart conditions, this small change can make a big difference in how your body feels. One study from the University of Vienna followed adults over 65 and found that regular consumption of reheated leafy greens led to reduced oxygen saturation. That's the amount of oxygen your blood can carry, a number your doctor may track if you use a pulse oximeter at home. Lower oxygen means your brain, heart, and muscles don't get the support they need, which can lead to fatigue, faster heartbeat, or even fainting. And sadly, these symptoms often get dismissed as just old age, when food safety might be the missing piece. So what can you do? The safest choice is simple. Cook greens fresh and eat them right away, especially if you're already managing respiratory or cardiovascular conditions. If you absolutely need to store them, chill them rapidly and eat cold within 24 hours. Never reheat. A cold spinach salad with lemon vinaigrette can be just as nourishing without the risk. In a country like America, where seniors value independence and health more than ever, the way we treat our food truly matters, because staying strong doesn't always require new pills or big changes. Sometimes it just means knowing which leftovers to avoid. 3 types of foods that must be reheated to be safe. 1. Pork. Never eat it cold. Maybe it's leftover pork chops from your Sunday grill in Wisconsin, or that slow-cooked pulled pork from your grandson's birthday party in Texas. Tender, flavorful, and waiting in the fridge the next morning. It feels easy to reheat or even sneak a cold bite right out of the container. But what most people don't realize is that pork, more than many meats, must be reheated completely and carefully to avoid serious health risks. Pork can carry a parasite called Trichinella spiralis, which causes a condition known as trichinosis. While rare in today's regulated meat supply, it hasn't disappeared. Cases still occur every year, especially from undercooked or poorly reheated meat. The real danger is that this parasite survives when pork isn't heated to the proper internal temperature of at least 145 degrees, as recommended by the USDA. For leftovers, experts go further and recommend reheating to 165 degrees to ensure all areas are safe, especially since the meat has already cooled once. To do this right, use a meat thermometer to check the thickest parts. Avoid reheating a whole chunk of pork all at once. Slice it thinly, spread it out, and cover it during reheating. Whether you're using the microwave or oven, stirring or flipping halfway through ensures even temperature and prevents cold spots. And don't rely on guesswork. If it's steaming, but still cool inside, it's not ready yet. For seniors across America, especially those with chronic conditions or weakened immunity, eating cold or underheated pork could trigger stomach cramps, fever, or even more dangerous infections. But reheated the right way, pork remains a rich source of high-quality protein, B vitamins, and iron, helping maintain muscle and energy in your golden years. So take that extra minute, check the temperature, eat with confidence, and enjoy every bite without the worry. 2. Meat, vegetable soup. Don't let the center stay cold. Soup feels like the safest thing in the fridge. Whether it's a beef stew from your slow cooker in Michigan or a vegetable chowder from the corner deli in Boston, soup brings comfort. But when it comes to leftovers, especially large batches, soup is one of the easiest places for bacteria to grow unnoticed. The issue isn't always the soup itself, it's how we cool and reheat it. When you store a big pot of soup in the fridge, the outer layers chill quickly, but the center may stay warm long enough for bacteria to multiply. These bacteria, like Listeria monocytogenes or Clostridium perfringens, can cause serious illness, particularly in older adults with slower immune responses. US guidelines recommend bringing all reheated soups to a rolling boil for at least 1 minute to kill off any hidden pathogens. Microwaving soup in short bursts or at low power might heat the top, but leave the center cold. Instead, use the stovetop and stir the soup well while heating to ensure the temperature rises evenly throughout. If you're using the microwave, pause halfway, stir thoroughly, and reheat again. Then check that the soup is piping hot from top to bottom. For seniors managing blood pressure or heart disease, soup can be nourishing when made right, full of collagen, electrolytes, and vegetables rich in antioxidants, but only if it's stored smart and reheated safely. So next time you make a big pot of homemade chicken soup in New Jersey or buy a quart from your favorite cafe in California, store it in shallow containers and divide large batches into smaller ones before refrigerating. Because safety in the kitchen isn't about fear. It's about respect for your body and your time. And with one careful boil, you can turn yesterday's soup into today's healing meal. 3. Ground meat danger from meatloaf to chili to taco filling. Ground meat is a staple in homes across America. Maybe you made a big pan of spaghetti with meat sauce last night in Illinois, and there's just enough left for lunch today. But here's what you should know. Ground meat behaves differently than whole cuts of meat. Because once meat is ground, bacteria are no longer limited to the surface. They're spread throughout the entire portion. That's why reheating ground meat needs to be done with extra care. Unlike steak or chops, where the center may be less exposed, ground beef or turkey must reach a full 165 degrees Celsius all the way through. A study from the International Association for Food Protection found that ground beef stored over 24 hours contained bacteria levels requiring high heat to neutralize. Microwaving leftovers like meatballs or casseroles without stirring or slicing can leave the inside dangerously undercooked. To reheat ground meat safely, always cut thick portions, like meatloaf or patties, into smaller pieces first. Spread them evenly, stir if it's a sauce, and use a thermometer to double-check the center. Stirring every minute during reheating reduces cold spots by over 90%, according to food safety experts. It's a simple habit, but one that protects your digestion and peace of mind. Ground meat is rich in iron, zinc, and protein, essential nutrients for maintaining energy and immune strength as we age. So don't let the leftovers become a hidden hazard. Give your food the attention it deserves and your body the protection it needs. Because here in America, where seniors are living longer and staying active well into their 70s and 80s, small kitchen habits can have big health outcomes. And something as simple as reheating wisely might just be the reason you feel a little stronger tomorrow. It's something we all do, almost without thinking. You pull last night's dinner out of the fridge, pop it in the microwave, and figure it'll be good as new in 2 minutes. Maybe it's leftover chicken from Sunday dinner in North Carolina, or a warm bowl of rice and vegetables after a walk through your neighborhood in Oregon. But here's the quiet truth. Some foods, when reheated the wrong way, don't just lose flavor. They can quietly harm your health in ways we rarely talk about. For seniors especially, the danger isn't always in the bacteria itself. It's in the toxins some bacteria release during improper cooling and reheating. These toxins can't be seen, smelled, or tasted. And they don't always go away with heat. Once inside your body, they can trigger more than just an upset stomach. They may spark inflammation, disrupt your immune response, and, most concerning, affect your heart rhythm, blood pressure, and even brain clarity. That sudden wave of fatigue or confusion, that lightheadedness after lunch, it might not just be a slow day. As we age, our bodies process food differently. The immune system weakens, and the gut lining becomes thinner, making us more vulnerable to the tiniest invaders. Dehydration sets in faster. An irregular heartbeat becomes more likely. And foods we once thought were harmless, like reheated soup, rice, or potatoes, could be quietly increasing our risk of infection, inflammation, or memory fog. Across America, from Michigan to New Mexico, many older adults are doing their best to eat healthier. But the way we handle leftovers matters just as much as what's on the plate. Because food safety isn't just about avoiding stomach bugs. It's about protecting your energy, your focus, and your long-term health. Taking a few extra minutes to cool, store, and reheat food the right way isn't a chore. It's an act of care. An act of love for your body, your mind, and the people who count on you to stay strong. And in this chapter of life, every safe, mindful choice is another step toward the freedom and dignity you deserve, right here in the country you call home. There's something comforting about opening the fridge and seeing a neatly stored meal from the night before. Maybe it's leftover baked chicken from Sunday supper in Tennessee, or a bowl of rice and beans from your favorite diner in New Mexico. Leftovers feel like a little gift to your future self, saving time, effort, and sometimes even memories tied to a family recipe. But for older adults in America, how we store and reuse leftovers can be just as important as the food itself. As we get older, our digestive system becomes more sensitive. The immune response slows, and the body takes longer to fight off even minor foodborne threats. That's why taking a few simple, science-backed precautions can help protect your health while still letting you enjoy every bite. And no, you don't have to give up leftovers. You just have to work with your body, not against it. One great strategy is to enjoy certain foods cold, without reheating at all. Cold rice tossed with olive oil, cucumber, and avocado makes a refreshing salad, perfect for warm afternoons in Florida or California. Leftover chicken can be shredded and added to a chilled pasta salad or wrapped in lettuce for a light lunch. These dishes don't just save time, they also bypass the risks of reheating foods like rice or leafy greens, which can develop heat-resistant toxins if not handled correctly. Another helpful tip is to cook smaller portions, just enough for 1 or 2 meals. It may take a little practice, especially if you're used to cooking for a big family. But preparing just what you need reduces waste, keeps food fresher, and makes storage safer. It also gives you the joy of cooking something new more often, bringing more variety, nutrients, and flavor to your weekly meals. And when it comes to storing those meals, shallow containers are key. They allow your food to cool quickly and evenly, preventing the slow-warming danger zone where bacteria thrive. Avoid letting food sit out for more than 1 hour, especially in warmer states like Arizona or Texas, where room temperature rises fast. Once refrigerated, most leftovers should be eaten within 2 to 3 days for peak safety and nutrition. It's not about being afraid of your food. It's about being smart and kind to your body. Because when your meals are handled with care, they become more than just fuel. They're part of your wellness, your routine, and your independence. In a country where seniors are living longer and striving to age in place with strength and grace, these everyday habits matter deeply. And knowing how to keep your leftovers safe is one more way you're taking charge. One meal, one moment, one smart step at a time. Sometimes, the biggest changes in our health don't come from a new medication or a complex routine. They come from something as simple as how we cool our soup or store last night's chicken in the fridge. That leftover meal may seem harmless, but for seniors across America, that quick decision could mean the difference between a peaceful day at home or a rushed trip to the ER. And that's exactly why this video wasn't meant to scare you. It was made to support you. Because when we understand how food behaves, especially as our bodies age, we're no longer at its mercy. We take the power back, one safe meal at a time. Whether you live in a quiet suburb in Ohio or a sunny apartment in Southern California, you deserve to eat with confidence. And the good news is, the steps are small. Cool quickly, store smart, reheat right, or enjoy cold when it's safe. Tiny actions that keep your mind clearer, your energy stronger, and your days more your own. You've spent your life caring for others. Now, it's time to care gently and wisely for yourself, because you deserve to feel well. Not just sometimes, but every single day. And if a few food safety tips can help you avoid infection, preserve your memory, and protect your independence, then I'd say that's time well spent. Before we go, I'd truly love to hear from you. Which food in today's video surprised you the most? Have you ever felt off after eating leftovers and never quite knew why? Drop a comment below. I read every one, and I'd be honored to hear your story. And if this message helped you, please take a moment to subscribe and share it with someone you love. Because good health doesn't end with us. It ripples outward, kitchen to kitchen, one caring voice at a time.